Powerhouse Hobbs is the #1 contender to Jon Moxley's AEW World Championship. I'm the Stitcher, and this is Last Week in Wrestling with Stitches. In our leading story, Powerhouse Hobbs pinned Kyle O'Reilly in a Casino Gauntlet match to earn a match against Jon Moxley next Wednesday at Maximum Carnage. I think it's safe to assume that Mox will retain his championship, but I love seeing strong booking for Hobbs, and clearing the ring of Death Riders at the end of Collision only reinforced his aura heading into his match against Mox. Monday Night Raw debuted on Netflix, and in an epic move by miscalculation, Hulk Hogan came out to cut a promo about tag teams or beer or something. I have no idea what he said because I couldn't hear him over all the boos from that Los Angeles crowd. In House of Black news, Buddy Matthews lost to Will Ospreay on Dynamite in a fantastic match. Ospreay cut a promo after the match, telling Matthews, who he called Buddy Murphy, whoopsie, that he doesn't need a leader. Over on Collision, Brody King, accompanied by Julia Hart, squashed Trevor Blackwell. And after the match, Cope told King that it's his time to be a leader. It's awesome to see that these two ultra-talented wrestlers probably won't suffer and might even thrive if Malachi becomes Alistair again, which is looking more and more likely. And now it's time for That Just Happened. SmackDown happened. And That Just Happened. John Cena announced that he will enter the 2025 Royal Rumble in hopes of making one last run at a historic 17th world title reign. And speaking of the Royal Rumble, it was announced that the 2026 Royal Rumble will take place in Saudi Arabia. In the words of the WWE rebrand in 2002, get the F out. I hate everything about this and will probably make a longer video on it in the future. Rhea Ripley defeated Liv Morgan to win the WWE Women's World Championship in the continuation of a heated feud. It was a great match, and it was good to see these two incredible superstars push their feud beyond the Dirty Dom love triangle nonsense. I mean, it was fun nonsense, but Morgan and Ripley are so much bigger than that storyline. Logan Paul said that WWE is no longer a side hustle. He's a full-time superstar now. Cool. Hey, what's going on over there? Over there in TNA, the System's Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, and JDC intentionally injured Jonathan Gresham after their match against Gresham, Steve Macklin, and Eric Young. In other System news, X Division champion Moose insulted the X Division championship belt and promised to reveal a new design at Genesis on January 19th. This little TNA segment has been heavy on the System, but I genuinely think that this current TNA roster is absolutely loaded and the promotion definitely deserves some of the spotlight. Now, what's going on over there in Ring of Honor? Chris Jericho still has a stranglehold on the Ring of Honor Championship for some reason. Anyway, the Rock and Roll Express beat up Jericho and Brian Keith, really propping up a title held by guys like Samoa Joe, Roderick Strong, Jay Briscoe, Loki, CM Punk, Kevin Steen, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, and so many other amazing wrestlers in the primes of their careers. I'm a longtime fan of Jericho, and if the Learning Tree were a mid-card act to help get Big Bill and Brian Keith over, I'd probably enjoy it. It's not that, though. It's just another Chris Jericho vehicle to promote Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, yay! That left a sour taste in my mouth. Time for a palate cleanser. Serpentico lost his match against Blake Christian, officially starting the 2025 Serpentico record tracker at 0-1. Now let's go back over there. Kenny Omega made his return to AEW Dynamite on Wednesday night, getting jumped by Lance Archer and Brian Cage before Will Ospreay ran in for the save, setting up Omega vs. Cage at Maximum Carnage and potentially hinting at a mouth-watering Omega Ospreay 3 somewhere down the line. On NXT New Year's Evil, two new champions were crowned. Obafemi defeated Trick Williams and Julia defeated Roxanne Perez to become their respective divisions' world champion. I have my doubts that NXT will ever capture my imagination the way it did in the Black and Gold era, but I like the direction that it's currently going. Lastly, Bobby Lashley. This week's final thought is that Toni Storm is the best thing in wrestling right now and has been for over a year. Am I being a little hyperbolic by dubbing her the best thing going? Nope, she just is. If you disagree, you can yell at me in the comments. Make sure you hit the caps lock before you start typing. Anyway, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Love you all.